Important note to all teams, the circuit is wet on driver's right from the exit of turn 1. Please advise your drivers, please.
That is a very important announcement, because not only do you have the tension and the anxiety and the stress and the pressure of starting the great race. The cars are hard to get off the line. We've spoken about it. They've got the longest gearing. They're full of fuel. And by the time you get out of first gear, you're already doing 120 kilometres an hour. The drivers will have to be very careful out of Hell Corner, out of turn 1, where all the water and mud is. It's 6.213 kilometres. It's in 3 sectors. We won't care about that today because we've gone through qualifying. The elevation is 174 metres, roughly 570 feet from the top down to the bottom. And 23 corners, they're wild. Peter Brock used to say great racetracks have got consequences, and this has got ultimate consequence. Looking on from our Century Batteries chopper cam down at this precinct, and have a look at the amount of people. Just a great shout out to all of our fans and all our supporters that are here for the Repco Bathurst 1000 back at Mount Panorama, out of COVID, celebrating the great race. This is going to be unbelievable. How about the grid? We've got a co-driver lining up alongside a mainstream driver. James Moffat is on pole. Lee Holdsworth lines up alongside in car 10. And it will be his final full-time Bathurst drive. He's announced that he will be a co-driver in the future. And so many of these people have endured a massive week of rain and bog, and they've come out in their droves, Neil Crompton. It is so great to have people here. We can't wait to get this thing started. Well done there with everybody on the grid.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, awesome to see so many people on pit straight, right where you and I can look out the commentary box window and see stands and general viewing areas jam-packed, and they are on the exit of turn 1. Look at that scene into the pit paddock area, the camping area over where the old drive-in used to be. They have endured absolute living hell, and it is a very big and busy grid, this one. 28 entries, 56 drivers, and on the pole position for the second time in his career, Cam Waters. He'll share with James Moffat, and Cam has been a runner-up in this race. He'll share it with Lee Holdsworth, and Matt Payne spoke to young Matty a few moments ago. Chaz Mostert, Fabian Coulthard, second row of the grid. And how about the headline? Richie Stanaway, Greg Murphy, row number 2. The Davison brothers, car number 17, the famous Dick Johnson number. They'll start from 5 together with Nick Percat and Warren Luff. Penalised in qualifying, Shane Van Gisbergen. He's a former race winner, and so too Garth Tander. In fact, that's been the fast combination so far this weekend. The time that Tander did on Thursday afternoon was brilliant.
It was the fastest lap of the weekend. It was a 4:13. And it was at that time, it blew us away. It was faster than the main drivers. Let's go look at the rest of the grid there, because we've got some great combinations. The most open race that I've seen here for many, many years. Feeney and Whincup, they're alongside James Golding, and he was very fast. He lines up at the moment in the 14th and 15th spot. So when you look at the grid and you look at these combinations, that's another combination that can win. David Reynolds and Matt Campbell. Kostecki and Kostecki, another pair of the Kostecki brothers lining up. And when you look again at some of these people through the grid, so Hazelwood, Ojeda, Pye and Everham, there's a real mix with experience and youth. There are 7 rookies in the field. There's 7 New Zealanders and 49 Australians. Mark Winterbottom and Caruso way down the field compared to where you would expect them. We know that you can win from the back of the grid. Chaz Mostert and Paul Morris have proven that before. LeBrock and Seaton, they had a muscle moment yesterday for Aaron Seaton. They fixed that car. They had some steering issues in the warm-up. Let's hope that one is fixed now. Jack Smith with Jackson Evans, Tim Slade and Tim Blanchard round out the field in 27th and 28th. 28 cars, 56 drivers, the biggest prize in the country. Larko?
Hey, Scapey, isn't this just fantastic? The great race. Who's going to own the mountain? We've been saying it all day, and I mean it. I've never seen it so unpredictable. We've had 18 of the 28 cars in the sand trap, in the fence, getting fixed. We've had co-drivers that haven't had good running time. We've got no read on the racetrack. We've got no form guide. Yet, all these people have come out here. Give yourselves a round of applause for backing up in the wet weather and loving it. And I tell you what I want you all to do. Put your nose out to the wind, have a sniff, smell the drama.
Dear, it's certainly going to be dramatic. Century Batteries Tech Facts. We rate the brake energy here as low. Bump rating medium because of the curbing at the bottom of the chase in particular. The tyres are beautifully matched to this racetrack. The Dunlop hard tyre. Average turn time here just under 4 seconds, so not a huge amount of lap load around here. And that crossover that Mark and I have spoken about frequently through the weekend is around 2 minutes 20, 2 minutes 21, there or thereabouts. Critically, the distance from the front of the grid to the turn-in point at the first corner is only 225 metres. You covered off ratios before, Mark. When you jump out of first gear, it's 119 Ks. Out of second to third, it's 154 Ks. You blow the legal speed limits into the weeds in the first couple of gear changes. Let's bring these cars in.
Gee, that is bordering on a problem there for James Moffat. That is right on the cusp. That wheel cannot go over the white line. So he's got it right up in the bay.
Moffat on the front row of the grid. Holdsworth alongside. Coulthard row 2. Followed then by Murphy. It's a mix of experience versus youth. What an amazing location. Racing started in Easter 1938. It's a majestic racetrack that masquerades as a scenic road.
Green flag, green flag.
We are set. Let's rejoice again as we listen to the music of supercars ringing out around Mount Panorama, Bathurst. And what a start by Lee Holdsworth and Fabian Coulthard. Greg Murphy's in the mix. Lethal has bolted through turn up. Here we go in this slippery stuff on the exit. Do they all safely negotiate?
I think they did. And Murphy's still trying to gather it up. It was wheel spinning, but he gathered it up nicely. What a great start by Lee Holdsworth. And that's the difference between,
trouble.
A massive spin on Mountain Straight. The track's blocked.
Safety car to pit X and hold, Paul. Pit X and hold.
Car number 9 in trouble here is Jack Perkins. David Couchy, Alistair McVeigh watching, Stephen Grove.
Let me know.
There was a Red Bull car mixed up in that. And I think it was 88. It is 88 in the background. It's Jamie Whitcup, the Jack Smith entry with Jackson Evans aboard at the moment in trouble.
You out. Just keep working back and forth if you
They
can.
made it 10 seconds into the race before we've had trauma. And this is going to be one of the storylines of the day. The minute you're off the asphalt here, there will be absolutely no grip. For Jack Perkins, what a disaster. They've deployed the safety car already on lap 1. No surprise. Now, we had 10 of them in 2014 and 2006 and a pile of safety car laps. I'm betting that we're going to see a lot of them today. They're watching it at Erebus. The Ford Ranger recovery vehicle now just helping to get that car clear.
Has he got it on the black stuff?
Yes, he has. Now, the other car that I didn't pick up in all of that was Zach Best as well. What does that geometry look like right rear? Is it crook?
Yeah, I reckon. Have a look at the amount of toe out it's got. It's massively affected there, so that right rear's been damaged.
So there's clearly been a mid-pack jostle. Someone's given someone a hip and shoulder, and they've bumped and ground and bounced off the edges of the road. That car is in terrible trouble. Can you believe it? Now, last year, Will Brown and Jack Perkins had an incredibly fast race car. We saw it in qualifying. Here's the start replay. And then they had power steering trouble. Look at Fabian up against the wall. Lee bolted. Greg Murphy got a ripping start as well. And then we all held our breath, fingers crossed for the water on the exit of 1. Now look mid-pack, what has gone on here? I saw 88, I saw Whincup having trouble finding traction, but I didn't understand on the left side what triggered it.
I can't work it out either. In fact, someone has ended up spearing into Jack Perkins, and that was the forceful, this is on board now with Fabian Coulthard, beautiful presence of mind and spatial awareness to put that car on the inside, and you can see all that wet stuff down the outside. This will give us a bit better guide, maybe. There was some drama down the back there too. Was that Heimgar? No. Dale Wood? I don't know which car that was. It was all sideways. So look at this one.
Trying to focus on the mid-pack. So there's a cluster of 3 wide down there. Whincup gets crossed up. Oh, there was actually nose-to-tail contact. That was actually the number 8 with Dale Wood in it. I reckon he got into the back of the preceding car. But they would have been checking up on the water. So the reason that they start the concertina there is the minute the car breaks sideways, you're compelled to lift the throttle. Here's an onboard. Whoa!
That's smart.
Tyler Everingham gets a massive whack.
Oh, is it? Was it Tyler, is it?
Well, no, in the preceding car. Yeah. Look at the water and mud, and they're on the brakes, up Mountain Straight, lap 1, cold tyres, Whincup rotating, Jack Perkins rotating, hallelujah, a gap in the middle, and that is a sad sight, unfortunately, for car number 18.